Hello everyone and welcome to CTCT 7016 Youth Program Development. My name is Brian Parr. For those of you who I haven't got the chance to meet face to face, I want to welcome you to the class and say that I hope sometime in the near future we do get to meet face to face, but hopefully this little video introduction will serve to make a little more of a personable experience with you and your classmates. And so I hope that everyone is able to upload a video for this introduction so that we can kind of put a face and even a voice with the name. I feel like it makes us seem like we're more of a community if we know each other just a little bit. Just by way of introduction, I'm originally from Tennessee. I was an agriculture teacher in Tennessee for 5 years and then went back for a PhD at Oklahoma State, and then I've been in Kentucky and in Georgia, and then came here to Auburn about 7 years ago, a little over 7 years ago now. So been here quite a while. It seems like just yesterday. But this is one of my favorite classes. This class really deals with what we see in student organizations. Of course, in Ag Ed, it's the FFA, and if you're a business ed teacher, it's going to be the FBLA and some other organizations. But what we see is this leadership development among students, and it's really an exciting thing that I know many of you have witnessed for quite a while in your careers. And so we're taking a look at kind of the inside, the inner working of what really inspires people or what causes people to become leaders, and some of the philosophy that's behind it. So it's a really fun course, a lot of enjoyable reading. And I want to go through a few things here to talk about the course and to let you know kind of what to expect. And I'll start with the syllabus. Now, everything that I'm going to talk about here for the next few minutes is listed under the first module in the beginning of semester materials. It's labeled something like that. I try to divide everything up into these handy little modules that somewhat serve as weekly increments of assignments and of duties. And so you can look at those. The modules should come up on the home page at the Canvas site, and you've probably gone to it to find this video even. But I hope that I have everything that you need for each week divided into those modules, and so that it's very easy for you to get to. But within that first module of beginning semester materials, you'll find the syllabus, and the syllabus is pretty straightforward, like most other syllabi that you find in other courses. That has our course objectives. I did not put the schedule on there or the content because it's in a separate document that goes into fairly great detail. And then of course we have a bit about the grading scheme and a few class policy statements. Really just kind of a straightforward type of a syllabus. No curves, I don't think, there. Where really the meat of the syllabus comes into play is in a separate document. It's called the schedule for the semester, and you'll find that in a separate PDF within that first module. And this, even though we do really believe in asynchronous teaching and believe in allowing you to take the time that you need with your busy schedules, and I understand completely. I was an ag teacher, and I understand completely the hectic schedules a lot of times, especially in the spring as you prepare for career development events and conventions and conferences. And so I understand completely that we don't want you to have to meet in front of a computer at 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights or what have you. We want you to have the freedom to be able to do this work at your own pace and when you have the time. That being said, I do believe that over the years I've learned that it helps me and it helps my students to still establish some form of timeline throughout the semester. And so I do that in weekly chunks. And so essentially looking at 15 weeks through the semester, and the work is divided into 15 chunks. And so those modules should coincide with those weeks. Well, on the schedule, I have it divided out into the weeks of the semester. And if you look at the schedule, it'll tell you each week what the topic is that we're covering or we're focusing on for that week. And then under that, there is a list of assignments that you are to complete during that week or that you're to start. Now, some of them you don't complete during the week, and I'll make that a little clearer here in just a second when I go through those assignments. And so, for example, the week of January 19th, that's the first week of class. The subject is Introduction, Syllabus, class expectations, and leadership theories. And so the assignments are that you should post a brief biography to help others in the class to get to know you. And that's what I'm doing here with this video, and what I hope you're able to do with your video. I understand technical difficulties, but if you can figure out a way to get the video uploaded, that's going to be just great. There's a leadership theories presentation that's under the module, and so you go view that, and then you'll post your definition of leadership, and this is your own personal definitions, and there's no wrong answer right now. We'll talk about those later. And then you're going to read and respond to the first article, and the article for this week is called A Comprehensive Model for Leadership Development by Ricketts and Rudd. And so I have some fairly in-depth instructions on article selection and article responses that I'm going to talk about in just a few minutes, but that's the list of assignments for the first week. Now there are, like during the second week, there's an assignment that is to develop your philosophy statement. Well, it's not due during that week, but it has the due date on it, but the assignment is made during that week. And so feel free to look ahead, to work ahead, to watch the videos. All modules have a corresponding video. We try not to make it too long so you're not sitting in front of your computer forever, but you watch the video, you do the reading, you respond in the discussion, and you tackle the assignments and do as many ahead as you want to. I've had students that have worked through most of the semester within the first 3 or 4 weeks because they knew they were really going to get busy toward the end of the semester, and so that's just fine. You'll have to go back and respond to your classmates in the discussion board as we go, but you certainly could take care of some of those assignments. All right, so let's talk about the articles. The articles each week. Most weeks we'll have one article to read. Some weeks there will be 2 articles, and you'll get points for each of those articles that you respond to. And so it's your responsibility of one of your assignments to choose an article to post during one of the weeks. And so I have each person's name listed in the discussion board of where their article should be placed, and I have you on the schedule. So if you look at the schedule, find out where your week is, locate your article, and go into the discussion board and post it. There's specific instructions under that first module. Once again, it's called Guidelines for Choosing and Posting an Article, and it'll tell you what your article should look like, where it should come from, and what you're supposed to do with it. And so each person is responsible for finding one article. It's not too difficult. It's just the only difficult thing is to make sure we don't choose the same article. So look at the ones that have been chosen, and really it's first come, first serve. You get the article up first, it is your article. And then throughout the semester, each week, we will read these articles and respond. And so I have another document under that first module that's called the Guidelines for Discussion Threads for Articles. And it gives you really 3 things that you're supposed to cover in each response to articles. And so they are as follows. You pick one point for the article that you really found to be interesting, that you want to focus on and discuss that briefly. Number 2, describe your experience concerning this point, or even your lack of experience concerning this point. That's okay. If what made you find it, part of why you found it interesting is because you lack experience concerning this matter, then that's perfect too. Talk about that. And then the third one is how you can apply this knowledge in your student organization that you're currently leading, or the one that you plan to lead. And so some of you are currently teaching, some of you will be teachers. And so put those into the discussion, and I would suggest that you even create subheadings in each of your discussions according to the point that I found interesting, my experience, and how I can apply this knowledge. And so these readings are posted by noon on Monday of each week. The first 2 are already up there. I've posted those. And so your responsibility is to post the article by Monday of the week that you're assigned, and hopefully you'll do that much earlier. And then you have until Thursday throughout that week to read the article and provide that response, those three responses, or those 3 pieces to the response. And then by Monday of the next week, when the next article will be posted, I ask that you respond to at least 3 of your classmates and respond to their response. So give them some feedback on their response, and I ask that it be thoughtful and add to the discussion. It's okay if you disagree respectfully, and that's just fine. And so when you finish responding to at least 3 of your classmates, then your points will be awarded for your discussion, and you have a possibility possibility of getting 9 points per article. There's essentially 3 points for each of those items that's in your discussion post. All right, and so let me talk about some of the other assignments. So that covers the discussion for the articles. We also ask you to provide this introduction that I mentioned before, and so it's a graded assignment as well. Your definition of leadership, I told you there's no wrong answers, but there's some 10 points that are associated with it. Then you have a philosophy statement, and there's some description here of what your philosophy statement should involve, but really it is your philosophy statement, but it needs to be based on research. And so that's what we're doing. We're digging out these articles this semester that are dealing with youth organization leadership and leadership in general, and so base your philosophy, be able to back it up with these citations really that we're digging out throughout the semester. And so it should be 3 to 5 double-spaced pages according to APA 6th edition, and that's something in graduate school, if you're new to graduate school, you need to get really familiar with. Even buy yourself a copy if you want the hard copy. They have online guides. The OWL, the OWL at Purdue, is a great resource for APA style editing. And so this is a 3 to 5 page paper. It's worth 100 points. The next assignment is a mission statement, a short mission statement for your CTSO, whether that's FFA or FBLA. We want to make it very specific, and do know that I do speak about CTSOs a lot because we do have some business ed and ag ed people in the same class, but I don't want you to ever say CTSO. It's your organization. You should say FFA or FBLA or whatever it is that your organization is called, so make sure that you call it that. The next assignment is the core values, and we have a presentation on that, and you'll be able to see what core values look like if you haven't done that before. You're going to develop a set of core values for your CTSO. The next assignment is a program of activities, and this really is the guide, the field guide for your organization, and so I ask you to create a program of activities. And then there are 2 position papers that you're going to write throughout this semester, and they're somewhat similar but different. And so the 2 position papers, we have a couple of things in our profession that are debatable, and some people stand on both sides of the issue, of course. And so they are, should membership in your organization be mandatory for students, or should it not be mandatory? So this is your position, but once again, your position needs to be backed up by research. And so you provide rationale either way that you choose. And I'm really pro student organizations, but don't worry if you think that they shouldn't be mandatory, then that's okay. I'm not going to hold that against you. And then the second one is similar to the first paper, but it really focuses on teachers. And the question is, should teachers be held accountable for maintaining an active CTSO? For example, should an ag teacher be held accountable for maintaining an active and vital FFA, and should this be reflected in their evaluations, their yearly evaluations? And so, once again, pick one side of the issue, back it up with research, everything's okay. And then finally, there is a final exam in the course. And so those are the assignments and what are expected. I know that there's some challenges with technology and with maybe if you're new to graduate school or whatever with this format of doing this completely asynchronously and at a distance, but just know that I'm only an email away, and I do ask that you send your emails directly to my email address. It's bap0007@auburn.edu instead of sending messages through Canvas. I know that I get the emails, and sometimes the messages through Canvas, it's weeks later, months later before I see them pop up. And so just email me directly or give me a call. I think most of you have my cell phone number and my office number, but if not, I'll give them to you. My office number is 844 excuse me, I forgot my phone number, 6995, and my cell phone number is area code 423-470-3899. So should you need anything throughout the semester, please just let me know. And I'm sure that there will be questions I'm happy to answer, but please do spend some time with these materials, especially in this first of the semester materials that you'll see in that very first module, and try to pour through those materials and familiarize yourself with it before you ask the questions. They may be answered in there. If not, then certainly please do ask the question. I'll answer for everybody. But I try to set these distance courses up where everything that you need for the semester is already there in front of you, so you can take off, hit the ground running, and work ahead if you like. And so once again, if you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask, and I look forward to hearing discussion from those of you that are in the field and those of you that are about to be in the field. It really makes an interesting mix. We have a nice sized class this semester with lots of different areas of expertise and varying levels of experience, and so I really look forward to the class discussions. So welcome once again.